Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We have a couple of teams who come off losses just 1 week ago and now want to flip things back in a positive direction. It's the Vikings going up against the Titans. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Thank you, Larry. We welcome everyone to the Music City, just a stone's throw from the Country Music Hall of Fame. We are at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. It's been a lost first month of the season, that's for sure, as they come in with an 0-4 record.
And the window's not shut on them, though. They still have a chance to make something out of this season, but it has to start right now.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Oh, look at the juke. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Johnson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down. On second down, Wilson. Screen play, Johnson. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
First carry now for Paul Perkins. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Again, they go to Perkins. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. To throw Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. And some room to work. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Ryan Suckup for the Titan field goal. This from 54 yards away. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. Now we'll get our first update of the afternoon from the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Jimmy Garoppolo, an early touchdown pass in that one. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Again, it's Johnson. And some room to maneuver. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big run there by Johnson. 42 yards on the ground. Well, he currently stands second in the league in rushing, and runs like that are a big reason why. Heck, runs like that might get him to blitz coming, and down he goes. Daquan Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big. But sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz. And even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
23 yards on the play. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. It's Coleman here. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Aaron Ripkowski, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, that was not quite the holy roller, partner. That was San Diego, Oakland. You might remember that in 1978, right? Kenny Stabler, forward fumble. Dave Casper falls on the end zone. Oakland beats them on the last play of the game. But that was a live football. And what a nice job he did to fall in the end zone. And yes, indeed, folks, that's a touchdown.
By the way, John Madden was coaching in that holy roller game, wasn't he?
He certainly was, and he wanted to make sure that the call went his team's way, was out on the field and was told, yes, it's a touchdown. Now get back on the sidelines.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudens. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards. Here's Perkins on first down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Fresh set of downs here. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down. Off the play fake, Mariota. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. That good for 19 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air.
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, first down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on second down.
Now Mariota, and the pressure gets to him again. Geno Atkins in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Mariota throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Ryan Suckup for the Titan field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And Suckup will put this one right through. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. Jimmy Garoppolo, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And now let's look at David Johnson. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started. At the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season. And, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and, boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football. And complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A 1st down throw for Mariota. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They go counter. Perkins. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Perkins on 3rd down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 4th down, here's Drew Butler in punt formation. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the 1st half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should... And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Khalil Mack leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. In this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense.
David Johnson on his way. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. David Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this belongs to the Vikings.
They may have the... the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they've dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now it's Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jaron Reed with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Wilson. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
2nd down, Mariota. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded at about the 28. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they miss-hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Tucker now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there that time, actually.
You think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Wasn't able to get anything, no gain. Fumbled once already. Maybe he's being a little careful. Not necessarily on that play, but I'm sure that's in his mind somewhere.
Oh, without a doubt, because protecting the football is job one for anyone who's carrying it. And that's exactly what he tried to do on that play, but it didn't gain him any yardage.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense.
Back now in Nashville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Mariota on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number one cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Mariota from the gun on third down. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. First down, Mariota. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Touchdown, Titans. Paul Perkins, his second touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it third down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys. guys, they've got it going today.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Throwing, Mariota. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor, and now it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Mariota. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a handoff. Johnson. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. On 2nd down, Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now it's the backup Winston. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. This is caught, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal. They'll run it with Johnson, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. David Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning. Aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Adoree Jackson on the return. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And the Titans getting set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here. Let's do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Mariota. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. On third down, Mariota. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Desperation time. Mariota on fourth down. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings are going to win this football game. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Wilson wants to throw it. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Elsewhere, Ford Field, they're into the fourth quarter now. And it was the Bucs coming away victorious there. Jameis Winston, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. But I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not some. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Vikings, they pick up their second win now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, the calendar changed October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.